Have you ever set yourself goals and targets within your business and found that you're never getting there or you're never reaching your goals and targets? I would say that it's got something to do with your ability to make decisions and choices on a daily basis. Today, I'm going to share with you what I do when I set goals to get the job done. Enjoy. How old are you going to be before you start to experience life like you want it? I want to tell you right now, whether you like it or not, there is a better way to do business. Hi everyone, welcome to the Business for Builders podcast. My name is Max, I'm your host. I appreciate you dropping in. If you're in the podcast, having a listen, and if you're in YouTube land, thanks for pulling up a stump. And hopefully there is something here that you can take away, tuck under your arm, and get some benefit out of. If you are brand new, I welcome you, and I trust that this is worth your while, okay? Understand, folks, you can get a hold of me on email, max@elitebusinessadvisory.com. If you get across to my website, elitebusinessadvisory.com, all kinds of contractor-related type information there as well. Something I've just started promoting because getting customized one-on-one coaching is super expensive, okay? You may not be at a position in your business that you can afford that. What I want to offer you is the Elite Business Advisory Contractor Academy. $65 American, there's probably 10 grand's worth of info on there. I want to put you through your paces, you at home by yourself, watching video, educating yourself. There's no point in talking to me about business coaching if you can't even do that, okay? So save your money, invest a little bit instead of a lot, okay, and get across to the EBA Contractor Academy, and that will help you out. EliteBusinessAdvisory.com/academy. All right, we're here to learn about building a high-performance, highly profitable, kick-ass business. So today, as you can see, decisions versus daily choices and how real change actually happens. And this is something that I learned a long time ago, and I think it was a bit of an epiphany. It was like, I just thought the decisions and choices were the same thing, right? And so it really is something to me these days that's so simple because, you know, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. Obviously, an obvious one is where I go and make a decision, well, I'm going to lose weight. And then, of course, my eating habits, my daily choices don't change. And so what happens is things are out of sync. They're not organized. And a lot of the time it's just subconscious because you don't understand the difference. And of course, point number 3 here is understand the difference. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do, folks, because all you're doing is if you say something and you don't understand what you're signing up for, you're just having a lend to yourself. Like you don't know what you're doing. It's good intention. Your intentions are good. You know, your intentions are pure, like mine, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, right? Great intention, good goal, excellent, right? But I just don't go to the gym. So, you know, all of a sudden my daily choices are not mapping to my decision, right? So essentially what a decision does, so let's talk about this one first here. What a decision does is it sets the direction, but it has no real bearing on the results. Okay, so understand the difference straight away. It's like, all right, so what I need for you to have is this little epiphany, because my job as a business coach is to bring awareness. Normally awareness happens when I talk with you about something where you didn't even know that existed. It's like, it's you don't know what you don't know. I don't know what I don't know until someone shares something with me, sheds some light on something, or helps me understand the complexity of something so that it goes from a complex situation into something that's very simple and straightforward and something that I can use to improve my business or my life or both. Okay, so a decision, it defines where you're going, doesn't have any impact on how fast you will get there, okay? So just because I'm like this, right, decide to lose weight and I need to happen by next week. The decision to lose weight, the decision to build a kick-ass business, that has no reflection or no influence or no impact on how fast you get there. It's just a decision. So let's not get that twisted and let's stay in contact with reality and just go, right, what it's doing is it's altering my course. Okay? So I'm going in my life this way, in my business life, let's say, and you're not happy with the outcome, and you go, I don't know where I'm taking my business, but I look over here and I'm like, that's where I want to take my business. So the decision gets made to alter the course. That's all it does. It doesn't alter how fast I get there. It just means I've diverted, I've pivoted, okay? And so here's the tragedy. Without follow-up, okay, decisions just remain intentions. And the world, my life, your life is full of good intentions. We intend to do this, we intend to do that, da, 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 da. And what happens, my wife says to me, when are you ever going to get that done? I say, I'm working a 5-year plan. Remember, the decision doesn't determine the duration or how quickly I get there. It's just that I'm going there, 5-year plan, right? So just keep in mind that just because you made the decision doesn't automatically entitle you to success that you'll arrive at that result, okay? Now, I would assume that this is fairly practical. In some cases, you might already know this, and that's good. But to know and not to do is not to know. So if we sit there and we've been loaded with information, and make no mistake, in this day and age, you've got information at your disposal all the time. Guys like me just, flapping their gums and giving it to you. But it's the execution, right? And it's the competent execution, not just the execution, but the competent execution. So, okay. So we need to follow through on our decisions. So let's talk about, so we understand this. So we've got decisions change or alter your course. They're now going, okay, that's the direction that we're going. We're going here. Great. Now what we're going to talk about is, as we go down the road, we've got to make, and I'm going to mess my own whiteboard up here, but let's say we've been going in this direction, and then we go, hang on a minute, I'm going to change direction. So I want to come down here and I want to go this way, right? Because this is my destination over here. This is where I want to go to. Now, obviously, that is the shortest route to that destination. Okay, we all agree on that. But to ensure that we actually go the shortest route, right? Because a lot of the time when we make bad choices, what you're going to find is all of a sudden we get off track. And we're like, hang on a minute, I'm not here, I've got to go back over here. So the choices that we make. Now, at this point, if you've got off track here, what have you got to do? You've got to make another decision. Because you go, do I keep, so this is decision time here. So do I keep on this trajectory, or do I get back on course via another decision? So the decision's got to be made to alter the course, and then choices need to be made to keep you on track. So let's talk about daily choices. Progress is built through small repeated choices. Okay, so you could say that making a decision, okay, to change, like here, to alter the course or the direction, right? That's a major. It's like, right, change. We're going to change. We're not going here anymore. We're going there. And I'm like, okay, but it's the choices along the way that support that decision is ultimately what carries us right through to our destination. Progress is built through small, repeated choices, not big announcements. See, so you can make that big announcement, hey, I'm going to go to the gym and New Year's resolution, blah, blah, blah. But then you wake up the next morning and you don't go to the gym, or you don't change your eating habits. See, that means straight away you're off course here. You've come back on course. You go, right, there's my direction. You got 2 seconds into it, bang, you're off course again. Okay, we all do it. We all do it, mate. Like, that's why I can speak to it, because I've cocked this up more times than probably anybody. Okay, daily actions either align with the decision or quietly undo it. Okay, so your choices on a daily, they align with the trajectory that's taking you to your destination, or it's pumping you off track. See, this is why business success a lot of the time is all around mindset. Because if you don't really care about the destination, what you then have is a business by default. Just whatever happens, happens, instead of a business by design. Okay, I'd encourage you to develop a business by design and not let it come at you by default. Consistency compounds speed and confidence, but what it also does is it develops the habit, okay? Because then you become accustomed. Now, you've got to have, let's call this is the destination, or this maybe is a vision for your business. See, when you've got clarity of the vision, what you do is you use the power of the vision and the fact that it's very clear to help you when you hit that fork in the road to make the good decision instead of the bad decision. Excuse me, the good choice. So choose good instead of choosing bad. Okay, and what you'll find is sometimes you'll actually make a choice subconsciously and you'll get down this track a little bit. You'll get to here and you go, hang on a minute, this is not mapping to my destination. This is not where I want to go. So the sooner we can bring ourselves into correction and say, right, let's get back on track. Well, let's refocus. Let's make another decision. Now we backed it up with choices. The happier I think we'll be. Now, do we ever perfect this? Is there always another mountain to climb? Probably. Is there always going to be a reason for us to make decisions in our life and then back it up with choices on a daily basis? 100%. Until the day you die. Right. Consistency compounds speed, confidence, and it helps you develop that routine. Okay, so understanding the difference, that matters. Builders fail when they confuse deciding with doing. So if you think just making the decision is all you need to do without making those choices on a daily basis and following through, that's where you're going to have trouble. Okay, clear decisions plus disciplined daily choices shorten timelines. So I think when you've got clarity of vision here and you've made this choice to turn your life around or turn your business around or improve your situation, and you understand the power of that decision being backed up consistently by daily choices, you will actually, the distance from here, right, to here will be shorter because it's just a geographical thing that you've got to understand. The more of this business that you do, right, to get there. Now, you could end up getting there. Great, mazel tov. However, the amount of kilometers that you did because you had to consistently or you had to regularly change, pivot, decision, more little choices. Going in the wrong direction. Let's change again. Let's redirect, another decision. You've just created a lot more, you've just covered a lot more ground. So, and look, at the end of the day, don't beat yourself up. Some of us get there faster than others, and there's all kinds of reasons why we maybe don't do this. And I would say this is an element of perfection here. Anyone that says they've gone on a straight line is probably telling us a little bit of a wobbly. But anywho, okay. Momentum is created when actions reinforce intent. So that really comes back to know, okay, that's your intent. I intend. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a decision. I'm gonna go here. And then of course when you activate, when you make choices on a daily basis, what's the next thing that I'm gonna do today? The next thing. Now, here's what I'll finish on. I think to help support this, obviously we now understand the difference between decisions. I hope you do, between decisions and choices. But really what I want you to start thinking about is this. This is a big one, okay? Something that has a lot of relevance, is time management. Because what will get you off track, what will turn you away from the straight line is distractions. Things that you end up doing that are urgent, that aren't important. So time management includes triaging of obligations. Guys, girls, mate, I could show you, I love technology and I've got, cloud-based job management software and blah, 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 and counting software and everything, it syncs and yay. But I tell you what, there's still some power in having a book. And I was at my architect's yesterday and I noticed that he had a book as well. He had a Spyrex binder, and you could just see that he'd had that flipped over and sitting on his desk and he's writing out dot points, crossing shit out. I'm telling you, whenever Jed, my business partner, rings me, or anybody else for that matter, I need you to do this, I will write that down straight away, because in reflection, sometimes if I've written it down during the day, when I sit down in my seat, I want to go back and reflect over that. Then what I do is I take a highlighter, and I could have 30 dot points, shit that's got to be done. You know what? It's all urgent, but I've got to identify the important first, okay? And probably if there's an important urgent, then I need to do that one, okay? And so what I do is I pick 5 things. I just go 5 things. That is all my brain can take. Now, if you're out and about, I guarantee you that you might have to just drop it down to 3. But if I am going to end up at a destination over here that I really, really am excited about, and I'm going to alter the course from the trajectory that I'm currently on, and I know that I've got to make these choices along the way, the choice of what you do today is what is a part of your ability to get that job done, to get that business built. It's just part of the deal. So it's like me saying to you, go and subscribe, invest some money in yourself. Go and get on the EBA Academy. Not for my reasons. You need to start convincing yourself so you make this choice, this change of trajectory that says, I'm not going to wait for it to come to me, I'm going to go get it. Right? And that's a determination that you make. Now that's a decision. And then we want to back that up with choices. Well, of course you're going to shorten the amount of time. Now, if you get this, and this now, when we do strategic planning, we talk about 90-day goals. We've got 4 of those a year, helps us get to our yearly goal. You might use this criteria where you're making decisions and then daily choices to put together a 90-day rock. Okay, if you don't know what that is, Google it. It's out there. It's a major thing that I couldn't do in 30 days, but I must do. I'm going to give myself 90 days to do it. And then you figure out, this is what I want to get done, and you reverse engineer that. Go, right, what have I got to do today? Folks, this is where we become productive operators. And then people wonder how we get it done. Well, it's not magic, and it's not furphy, and it's not hard. You've just got to be able to manage or govern yourself accordingly. A decision changes direction. Daily choices determine how fast you arrive. This is this whole up and down, this wobbly thing. You do wobbly or you do straight. Or maybe you do a little bit of wobbly. Okay. Because we all want to get there faster. We want to make sure that we get the job done. Because if I'm talking about growing a business, I've got a meeting, where we're going to discuss business growth. And we're talking about big numbers. And so I don't want it to take a decade. I know that I can't get it done in 12 months. So somewhere in between there and there is the time it's going to take realistically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball that, how long I think it's going to take us to build that business to. And then every day, when I've made that decision, every day I've got to make choices that are going to shrink the amount of time it's physically going to take me to get there. And that's exactly what you have to do as well. So guys and gals, if you like what you hear, I forgot to mention Business for Builders VIP. It's a private group on Facebook. If you want to just get across to Business for Builders on Facebook, that's an open group. It's a good place where you can sort of throw your ideas and your questions and whatnot out there and ask around. Don't forget, get across to elitebusinessadvisory.com/academy. Invest in yourself. You don't need to talk to me yet if you're in the early stages. What you need to do is figure out in your own head that you've got the discipline to educate yourself over and above what you're doing on a daily basis running your building company, okay? Or if you're looking at coming into it. So consider all of that. I want you to go out there today, build a kick-ass business, or tomorrow, and make good decisions that are taking you to the right place, and then make choices on a daily basis that are going to help you fast track that as much as you can. Go build a kick-ass business. See you on the next episode. Cheers.